This is an old beat up junk car. And I know none of you have an old beat up junk car somewhere on your property, but I want to share this with you. If you grow up on a farm, it is very easy to see as you drive through the fields and you drive past farms that people have old beat up cars or cars that have rusted to pieces or cars that have fallen apart. And there wasn't either money to fix them or the parts were unavailable, or it was an old car to begin with. And now it's just even an older car. Maybe it was only purchased as a beater car. And so one day we're going to get around to hauling it off, right? Or it might be that you live so far out in the country that to haul it off would cost hundreds of dollars. And so people don't. And then they end up having one car, and then one car becomes 2 cars, 3 cars. After a 10-year, 15-year window, you got 4 or 5 old beat up rusty cars that are outside your property, right? I know none of us have vehicles that have expired or worn out or have been crashed or whatever that are sitting on our properties, right? I was guilty one time of having a car, the engine blew. I was in my early 20s. I didn't have the money to get it fixed. And a buddy of mine said, let me take that away from you and I will store your car until you can afford to get it fixed. And I said, okay. And I still owed about $6,000 on the car. And he took the car and he sold it for parts and didn't tell me. And I was still making the payments on it until I could save up enough money to get the car fixed. When I went to him and I said, hey, look, I've got the money to get the car fixed. He said, oh, that car's been gone for a very long time. I sold it for the metal. And he said, I'm so sorry. I thought you were never going to come for it again. And I had ended up paying off that entire $6,000 because I owed the money on it and I didn't want to default on the loan and I didn't want it to show up as a repo. So even though I didn't have access to it and I wasn't driving the car, I paid off every last cent. And then there was no car at the end. The good news is this, I did not end up with it on my property. So if you have an old beat up car that's on your property, it doesn't mean you're a hoarder, but it could be symptoms of hoarding tendencies. Okay. Again, it's environmental. I just want us to be aware. So then we have choices.